Hi, I'm Nee. I'm a therapist, a boy mom, and I'm currently rebuilding my life while moving from Detroit to Arizona. Hey, hello. Welcome back to the Nee Edits. Remember to subscribe and hit the like button. I'm Nisha, a therapist, a boy mom, and someone who's currently preparing to make a huge transition from Detroit to Arizona. That move is actually happening this weekend. So today is the 17th of June. We move on the 20th. So in a couple days. And it is currently raining. This weather has been trash all week, validating my reason for moving. Like, I'm so sick of this weather, and I swear, this was the worst winter, the longest winter, a very consistent winter. It did not let up until June, and it's still back and forth. So this week is a pretty chilly week, unfortunately, but yeah. So today I'm going to answer all of the questions that you guys gave me for this Q&A video. If you would have told me a year ago that I would have been packing up, preparing for a big transition, moving my life from Detroit to Arizona, I probably would have thought you were lying. But then again, I always knew that Michigan wasn't my forever home. I've been here long enough. I do not like the weather. I do not like the winter specifically. So I knew this wasn't going to be the end all be all for me. It's so much more out there to see, to experience. And yeah, it's time for me to go. So, of course, I'm bringing you guys along on this journey with me. So, yeah, let's get into these questions. The first question is, what made me choose Arizona? And I'm going to touch on this a little later in the video with my kid because, I have to include him. He's also going to say a couple things about that question, but piggybacking off that question, he's going to add something else to it. But to answer the question, Bookie, what made me choose Arizona? Honestly, because California is too expensive. My first choice is always going to be California, but because I cannot afford California, I chose Arizona because that's the closest state to California that could get me there. Like, the vibes, the weather is kind of similar. Well, the weather is hotter, but it's only 4 hours away from California. It's 5 hours away from Vegas, driving 40 minutes on a plane. So I'm like, okay, let's just go with Arizona. I don't want to do Nevada because, I don't know. That's more like a party state to me. And I could always visit, but I feel like I would get tired of being in Vegas or Nevada. And I would have had to take additional classes for my license, and I wasn't doing that. I'm like, no. So I actually started looking at different states I could move to while I was still in grad school because, of course, depending on the state, I would have had to take additional classes. Arizona, I didn't have to take additional classes. I think California, I had to take additional classes too. So I'm like, yeah, no. We're going to do Arizona, and we're going to love it. So, yeah, the vibes, the weather, the scenery, it being close to California, all of that is my reason why I chose Arizona. The next question is, how am I feeling about the move? I'm actually really excited. Like, I moved before. I moved to California before when I was in high school for 3 months, and I lived with my grandma. So that kind of gave me like a taste of moving. So this isn't my first time moving out of Michigan to go to the West Coast or to, leave the nest. This isn't my first time. And I also did that in college. Although I was still in Michigan, I still left the nest. So I'm feeling really excited, really hopeful. I'm really, really waiting and ready for that weather. I know that's a big thing with people. They're like, oh, it's going to be so hot. It's 100 degrees. It's 120. That's fine with me. As long as I have a pool and AC, I'm good. Like, I love being at home anyway, so I don't care about that. That beats this weather right now. The rain, the chilliness, the cold, the snow. Listen, I'm most looking forward to the wintertime, the October, November, December, January months, when it's, well, in October it'll be like 50, 40s. November 40s, 30s, 20s. December it's getting down to the 20s, 10s. January below zero, freezing. No, I'm really excited for it to still be 90, 80s in Arizona, and I could be like, okay, I'm going to the pool. My window's still down. I can wear shorts still. I'm very excited for that part. Like, I cannot wait. Yes, I cannot wait for that weather. Like, sunshine, it just does something. Scenery, it just does something. The vibes, the views, all of that. I'm just so ready for it all. I was gonna say something else and I just forgot. But yeah, I'm just hopeful. I'm ready to decorate so I can really love where I'm at, because your home is supposed to be peace. It's supposed to be where you want to be all the time. So I cannot wait to decorate. Like, I plan on ordering everything Friday so it could be there by Monday. We move in on Monday, so we get there Saturday. We move in on Monday. So I'm gonna get the cleaning supplies on Sunday, which is Father's Day. Monday morning, I'm gonna get the TVs. Hopefully mid-Monday the stuff is there, like the furniture, the beds, all of that stuff. Hopefully that's there, so that my help, which is my mom, my dad, and my child's father, they're gonna all be there to help us move. And I hope the stuff is there, because I cannot put stuff together. I'm not Bob the Builder, so I'm gonna need that help. So that defeats the purpose if nothing is there when my help is there, because I don't know the next time my help will be there. So that's what I'm most looking forward to. So yeah, thanks for the question. Actually, I forgot. So I was actually supposed to move to Arizona like 6 years ago with my sister. We had it all planned out. Well, it was just a discussion. We didn't have it all planned out. We was just talking about it, and we were going to move to Arizona. But then I got pregnant, and years passed, and then she got pregnant. So it didn't happen. But I'm making it happen now for both of us. Like, I'm going to live out the dream that we set, the goal that we set. So I just thought about that. That's another reason why I chose Arizona. Okay, the next question is, how did you go about shipping your car, the pricing, searching for schools, finding a neighborhood? So shipping my car, I had did an online inquiry, and I got flooded with fucking spam calls. Oh, I don't think I can cuss on YouTube. I got flooded with spam calls from a whole bunch of different shipping companies, and one of them had text me like it's a $500 special or something. So I'm like, okay, cool. I was ignoring them for like months. Then I finally reached out because that price stood out to me. Like, okay, talk to me nice. So I got in contact with them. I forgot the name of it, but I'm gonna look up the name and then I will tag it in the video or in the comments of the video once I find out the name or find the name. But I contacted them. They told me the price is a $150 deposit. You pay the rest once you get the car or once the car arrives. And yeah, it takes 5 to 7 days for the car to arrive. So they picked my car up on the 19th, which is the Friday before. So hopefully I get it by Wednesday, Friday at the latest, since that'll be the 7th day. We will see. I will update y'all on that. But Yeah, searching schools. Honestly, after this school year of finding and picking out clothes every day, finding outfits and piecing them together, it's too much. When I was in school, we wore uniform. At the time, I really didn't like uniform, and I would have wanted to wear regular clothes. But being a parent, I really, really appreciate uniforms. So much. So simple, so easy. It takes 2 seconds. You're just throwing on a uniform bottom and a uniform top. Simple colors, putting on some shoes, going out the door. Easy peasy. So that was my goal, my motto when looking for a school. I'm like, I need to find a school that wears uniforms. Was not many options that I saw, but I'm like, okay, let's search for like charter schools, or what's another one? Not public, not private. The only thing I could think of right now is charter. That's where I found like, okay, those are the schools that actually wear uniforms. So these are the schools that we're going to go for, which is why I chose the school that my baby's going to. It's a charter school. I like the curriculum. I love the fact that they wear a uniform. So that's the school I chose for him. And then neighborhoods. So when we first went out there in February, we all went out there, me, my child's father, my baby. We went out there, and I was actually looking in West Valley, which is the Glendale, Peoria, that area, because Peoria has a good school district. And I'm like, okay, cool. Glendale, that's the Westgate, that's the State Farm Arena. That area is nice. I'm like, okay, I like this area. But, well, I'll get to that in a second. So we went out there, we saw two apartments, if I can remember. I think it was only 2. And we saw some houses. Didn't like the houses. It was kind of like, it was rough. The neighborhood was rough. It was crowded. It was cars in the driveway of the house that we were supposed to be seeing. So we didn't even go look in the house, because I'm like, it's a lot going on. We don't even have nowhere to park on this street. It's so crowded. So we just kept driving. And the neighborhood, like I said, it was rough. Finding the neighborhood, going to the neighborhood was rough. I'm like, oh, this must be the ghetto part of Glendale. So I'm like, yeah, we don't even have to go look at this house. That's fine. The first apartment we saw, though, I really liked that apartment. That was the apartment, and I'll post it at the end of this video. That was the apartment that had like a dining area, and it had cherry brown cabinets, but I didn't like the kitchen because it looked outdated. But it had mirrored doors. The walk-in closets were nice. It was a patio off the master bedroom. Lots of cabinets. It was really nice, really spacious. I really liked it. And then the second place, it was called Zone. Online, I really loved that apartment. It was right across from Westgate, right across the street. But it was so small in there. I was so irritated. I'm like, wow. I really thought this was going to be, you know, spacious, as spacious as the first one we saw. That one was in a good area. It was nice, by the freeway. Now, mind you, Zone was by the freeway too, but I didn't like the layout of the apartment. It was too small. Like, the living room wasn't really a living room. It was like, it was tiny in there. I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to work. It was updated. It was nice, but it was just not spacious. And right now, we're coming from our condo. It's not that spacious either. So I wanted an upgrade. If it's going to be upgraded, I want more space. I need more space because I have a lot of stuff. Just packing alone, I'm just so irritated with myself with this whole process of like, why do you have so much stuff? That's a whole nother story. So moral of the story is we needed something with more space. That place, it didn't give that. We needed more stuff, more space. So I was kind of disappointed with that apartment. I'm like, okay. And then when we were on the way to the airport, our Uber driver was like, good luck. What areas are you looking in? And we told him like Glendale. And he was like, well, if you got children, the education system is better in the East Valley, and the sports is better in the East Valley. They're more competitive, which is the opposite direction of where we was, because we were like, I want to say Glendale might be 35 to 40 minutes from a lot of stuff. So we were out there. But the East Valley is like Tempe, Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler, that way. Everything that way. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get home. I look on TikTok. Love TikTok down. I learned so much information on TikTok, through Facebook groups, all of that. They be dropping gems. Things you would never know you needed to know. They tell you all. So I get home, go on TikTok. I see that area where the zone apartment was is actually not the best area when it comes to events. And that wasn't the whole reason I wanted to be over there, but it was a part of the reason, because I'm like, oh, this is convenient. I don't have to drive my car. I could just walk across the street and be at State Farm Marina or be at Westgate and go shopping. Yeah, no. Well, not State Farm. Diamond Desert. I keep saying State Farm. Diamond Desert. I would be there. But they said, even if you live in that area, they closed the area down due to an event and you can't get to your house. I said, oh, well, maybe this isn't the best decision. Maybe this isn't the best area for me, because how y'all not gonna let me home and I live here? So what I'm supposed to do? How am I supposed to get home? So you basically trapped out of your house or the area you live in until the event is over, or you can't really leave your house until the event is over, is how I took it. And I'm just like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. So that's when I started looking at the East Valley. So like Chandler, Gilbert. We stayed in Tempe when we stayed out there in February, and I didn't really like that area. So I'm like, we'll just stick to these two cities, Chandler, Gilbert. It was another city, but it's further down. I can't remember the city, but that's the area we started looking in. So those two cities, like 25 away from Phoenix. I never wanted to be in Phoenix. Even though Phoenix is big, it's like south, it's like north, east, west. It's big, but I didn't want to be in Phoenix. Like, I wanted to be on the outskirts, just like in Michigan, Detroit. I never wanted to be in Detroit. I wanted to be in the outskirts. And that's how it's always been. Like, yeah, I grew up in the city, but I never wanted to live in the city once I got older. So I hope I answered that question. Yeah, I think I hit on everything you asked. So yeah, that's my answer to that one. Okay, the next question is how I found a place, things I had to do to secure it, and price differences from Michigan. So I just kind of touched on how I found a place. I really was just on Redfin. I was on Trulia. I was on rent.com. I was on homes.com. I was everywhere. Like, I subscribed to all the websites so that they can send me everything daily. Every new thing that popped up, I was clicking on it. It actually became an obsession. So from from February to May, when we went out there again and actually viewed the other two apartments that we chose, I was on there every day looking at stuff, looking up apartments, houses, condos, everything. So it was some condos and some townhouses that really stuck out. They were really, really nice. They were like 18, close to 1900. But we couldn't apply because it was only April and we can't move in until June. And they actually told us, like, yeah, we can't hold it for that long. The most we could do is 30 days. So I'm like, dang. So we had to literally wait until May to apply to places, to lock something in, so they can give us that grace of like, okay, this is the move-in date. As long as you're here by this day, you're good. Which is what happened with the place we locked in. They had an actual move-in date of the 22nd. I'm like, okay, cool. That's around the time I want to be there anyways. So that's how we found that place. And with the prices, whatever they have on the websites, let's say it's like 1,600 for a 2-bed, 2-bath, 2x2. That's the base starting price. That's not the price that your rent will be. So just like I said, the condos, it say $1,895, but that's the base. That's what it starts at, before the utilities, before the water, before all of that. So yeah, it say $1,895, but you might be paying 2 bands after all the fees roll in. So I have to learn that too. But I will say you get more bang for your buck in Arizona, even though with those prices, compared to Michigan. So, for example, where we're staying at, the base rent, the lowest I saw was $14.95 for a 2-bed, 2-bath. The one we chose, the base rent, well, it fluctuated depending on the amenities or the layout of the floor plan. That's what I'm trying to say. The floor plan, it depended on that. So the one we chose, the lowest one I saw was the one I just said, the 14 something. But of course, after you add all that other stuff, you end up paying like 16 something. If you have a pet, that's an additional 45. If you have a garage, that's an additional 75. They have something called Fetch. So it's a trash. Well, the Fetch is the packages. They deliver your packages to your front door. Valet trash service. You put your trash cans out every night between 6 to 8, and then the valet trash service starts at 8 when they come around everybody's apartments and they pick up the trash. They take the trash for you, and you got to bring your trash can back in by 9 the next morning. So all of that comes with the amenities. Of course, there's a gym, there's a pool, they have barbecue grills, they got a play area for the kids. Our apartment that we chose is actually a corner unit, so it has a L-shaped patio, and it also has a garage, which we didn't know that until we saw it on the lease, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, that's the difference. The biggest difference that stood out for me from Arizona to Michigan. I didn't really see a lot of places that had utilities included or water included, but I'm sure some do. I just didn't see that for the ones we chose. I feel like I'm missing one question of yours. Okay, so what I had to do to secure the place. Actually, it was a pretty simple application. When we viewed it and toured it, they actually offered us to go see it then and there, or apply for it then and there. And that would have just been paying, I think it was $350 for the application plus another fee. Application to secure the apartment. It was $350. We chose to do it once we got home. They were also offering 8 weeks free for the units that were available right then and there, and then 6 weeks free for future move-in dates. So what else we have to do to secure it? They sent us everything virtually through email, online, and we just went in, we did the application, we paid the fees, and then we just been communicating via email. And they send us the links. We do the links. They did a background check. Background check took so long because we started this process May 4th, I want to say, May 6th, the 4th through the 6th, because we went out there May 2nd to view some places. We got back home. We did the application May 6th. But the application didn't tell us to pay right away. So we had to get the link sent to us. That was like May 7th, May 8th. We signed some papers for the security deposit. That was May 8th. And then the background check started, I want to say a week after, because my child's father forgot to sign something on the document. So that kind of delayed it a little bit. But from the 12th until the 26th, that's how long the background check took. I'm like, bro, what? That's a long time. When the other apartment we went to see that same weekend, we applied to it. They waived the application fees, which is why we applied. We got approved the next day. So in my mind, I'm expecting that same fast turnaround. Like, okay, it's going to be boom, boom, boom. They're going to be fast with it. No. They ran an intensive background check. I don't know what they were looking for, but it was more intensive than the other apartment, obviously, if they just did it in a day. So, don't hit my car. I don't know what he's doing. So, he just distracted me. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, he really can't drive. He really about to hit my car. I am so sorry. I'm getting distracted. So after the background check, I'm emailing them like, how long is it gonna take? I've been staying on them to make sure like everything is good, because sometimes people don't like to do their job, so you just got to be on them just in case. I'm that type of person. Whatever. So they were like, when you get approved, you'll get a call. You'll get a phone call. So May 26th, I got a phone call from New York, but I didn't answer it because I don't answer unknown numbers. And the spam thing is supposed to let me know who's calling, and then I will answer, but it didn't do that. Or it did, and I just missed it. After I missed the call, about 10 minutes later, I received an email saying, congratulations, you've been approved. And then on June 7th, so that's like another 2 weeks, we received the lease to sign. And I'm just like, it took a long time for this apartment, but that's neither here nor there. So I would say the process is a really simple process, especially if you're doing it online. I'm sure it probably would have been faster if we would have just did it in person, so they could just push it through, but whatever. You just pay the application fee, you pay the fee for them to hold it, and then they give you your move-in amount. They waived the 8 weeks or the 6 weeks, so that was true. They waived the 6 weeks, so we don't start paying rent until August. We just pay utilities and the apartment fees for the months that we're not paying rent. You set up your power, electricity, power, utility, and they have to have proof of that. They want you to have renter's insurance. You got to send proof of that. You also have to pay a $450 deposit. It's like an e-premium deposit. That's more that you get back, or you pay the lesser amount and you don't get that back, which is fine. I'd rather pay less than more, whatever. And that's for the insurance, the renter's insurance. It's a part of that. What else? Yeah, that's really all. They didn't have like a credit criteria or a preferred credit amount. None of that. I'm sure that would have made a difference in the type of premium we paid, but the highest premium was $600. So, and the lowest was $250. So we was kind of in the middle. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a pretty smooth process, for real. Just finding a place, applying to the place, getting approved. Okay, last question is, what would be the good price range, expenses, things to look for or consider when moving out of state? This is a really good question. So you got to take into consideration if you're shipping your car, how much that's going to be. If you're shipping clothes through the mail, through the airport, things like that, all of that costs. So you have to add that up, consider those prices, consider how much the move-in fees are, how much the cost of living is compared to, let's just say, Michigan to Arizona, gas prices, if you pay for gas, the commute, so how much you're going to pay for gas to commute to work. Making sure you have a job secured before you leave is also important. Rent, car insurance, car note, adding all those expenses up to make sure that you can afford what life is now going to look like once you make this transition. All of that is important. So like for me, my job is basically remote. I only had one day that I went in office, so they're letting me just do fully remote until we lock in an office in Arizona that I can work out of. And of course, I'm still waiting on my Arizona license to even be able to see Arizona clients. So that's one thing. Car note will be the same price as Michigan. Car insurance, though, very much cheaper. So that's something to consider too. Like whatever you pay in Michigan, you more than likely won't pay when you move out of state because our insurance is too high. It's higher than it should be. So that'll save you some money. That's a plus. Rent, whatever your price range is, it can vary. Like I said earlier in the video, the cheapest I've seen with the place that I'm at is and was 14 something for a 2x2, which isn't bad. And that's of course the base rent before you add utilities and all of that, all of the amenities and extra fees they put on there. So let's just say if it's a $14.25, $14.40, you'll probably be paying $16.50, $16.80 per month after all the fees. And then if you're shipping your car, that can range from like $500 to $2,400. I don't know how much it is to ship like clothes through the airport or like through the mail. I'm not really sure because I'm loading my car up with everything and then it's gonna meet me when it gets there. So when we leave this week, I'm not really packing much for real. I'm packing enough to get us through the week, but I'm not really packing a lot. So that's also an option. If you do choose to ship your car, you can use your car to fill it up with the stuff you're moving into the new place. So I would say, as far as expenses go, to be comfortable, and that varies for each person. Some people take a leap of faith and they just move with like $100 to $500 to $1,000 to $2,000 and they be good. They figure it out and trust in God. But to be comfortable and not really worry, I would say at least 10 bands. Have 5 to 10 bands saved just to make you at least to 3 months if needed, because like I said earlier, sometimes the apartments offer that 8 weeks free, 6 weeks free, 4 weeks free. So that is a good incentive just in case you don't have a job. You got a little cushion, you got a little time until you got to start paying. That way you can get a job, or vice versa. You got a little time to save and stack before you actually start paying for the bills. So that's just something to think about. I hope this video was helpful. I answered all of the questions and you guys gave me some really good questions. I really appreciate it. And I will see you soon on moving day. Bye. What are you looking forward to?
To bring my money and my other money and to get anything I want. And I probably would move it Disney World, and you can also book rooms and stay there.
Okay, so you're excited that you get to bring your money, get it whatever you want, and that you'll be by Disney?
Yeah. I know, and you would put to say book rooms because you can stay there and sleep and wake up at Disneyland and then do everything you want. You didn't get to do at Disneyland.
Okay. Okay, so this is the apartments that I told you guys that I was going to put at the end of the video that were both in Glendale. This was the entrance to the apartments. I forgot the name of them, but they were really nice. Like, I liked the entrance. I liked that it was gated. Okay. It gave like luxury for real. That's a decent size. This will be our room.
Let's go in the balcony on it.
It's a decent size, but a pool. Oh, you don't gotta walk in. Excuse me.
Oh, shit.
Oh
That's
my.
just a mirror. That's fire.
Okay.
Okay. Let me walk this here.
Room for a dining room. That's not bad. And the laundry room. And we'll go to the kitchen, which is cool.
A lot of people. The kitchen. Oh my.
It's not bad.
2 of it. Let me check.
No. This is your room, Dada.
Where?
Your own bathroom.
Oh. Wow.
Another cabinet.
Mommy.
This is huge. Look, Dada. Look at your closet. You like it?
Yes.
This is cute.
What happened? I turned off
Ain't that you don't sleep?
all the devices off.
Close the closet. It's not bad. Not bad at all.
I think there was millions there.
You see the barbecue grills right here?
I feel everything, Dr. Blake.
This is cool. Now this is Zone Apartments, also in Glendale, that I was telling you guys about. You will see in a minute how small the apartment was. So yeah, just keep watching.
Okay, but all the finishes are pretty much the same, so this one's just the upgraded finishes with the marble countertops, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
This is my house in Iceland, dining area right over here. So
See him opening the things. This is nice. We'll go in this one. This the bathroom. Yeah, this the one with that. Mm-hmm. Those are good. Don't move your hand.
What in here?
This is the bedroom.
No, what in that?
This is a closet. It's two-sided. Yeah. Dada, get out of the closet.
You guys can always take it and bath.
Got him out.
Not too deep to
Is it? Is it a deep tub? Oh, yeah, it is. Hey guys, so this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.